The bench on Madison Street. The autumn sun cast a golden glow across Madison Street as Emma Richardson hurried down the sidewalk, her heart pounding with anxiety. She checked her phone for the 10th time in as many minutes. 20 minutes until her college reunion dinner. 20 minutes until she would face everyone she had known from her past life. She slowed her pace and took a deep breath, trying to calm herself. The street was beautiful in the afternoon light, with its elegant restaurants and cafes. Strings of warm lights decorated the outdoor seating areas, and the smell of fresh coffee drifted through the air. Under different circumstances, she would have enjoyed the scene. But today, all she could think about was the lie she had told. 3 months ago, when the reunion invitation arrived, Emma had been feeling particularly lonely. Her friends from college had been posting about their perfect lives on social media. Marriages, promotions, beautiful homes. And there was Emma, single and working long hours as a graphic designer, eating takeout alone most nights. So when her old roommate Sarah called to ask if she was bringing anyone to the reunion, Emma had done something impulsive. She had lied. She had said yes, she was seeing someone. Someone wonderful. The words had tumbled out before she could stop them. Now, she was paying the price for that moment of weakness. Emma spotted an empty bench near a charming bistro and sank down onto it, her legs suddenly feeling weak. She placed her small purse beside her and stared at the cobblestones beneath her feet. What was she going to do? She could not walk into that restaurant alone, not after everything she had said. Sarah had been so excited for her. She had told everyone. "Are you all right?" The voice startled her. Emma looked up to see a man sitting at the other end of the bench. She had not even noticed him there. He was dressed in an elegant navy suit, holding a cup of coffee, and looking at her with genuine concern in his dark eyes. "I'm fine," Emma said automatically, then felt tears prick at her eyes. "Actually, no, I'm not fine at all." The man shifted slightly, giving her his attention but maintaining a respectful distance. His presence was calm and steady. "Sometimes it helps to talk to a stranger," he said gently. "No judgment, no history. Just someone who will listen." Emma laughed, a brittle sound. "You might regret that offer." "Try me," he said with a small smile. And so Emma found herself telling this stranger the whole embarrassing story. About the lie, about the reunion, about how she had backed herself into a corner because she was tired of feeling like she was behind everyone else in life. The words poured out of her, and he listened without interrupting, his expression thoughtful. When she finished, there was a long moment of silence. "So you need a date for tonight," he said finally. "Yes, but I can't exactly hire an actor at this point," Emma said, wiping at her eyes. "I should just cancel. Tell them I'm sick or something." The man was quiet for another moment, then he turned to face her fully. "I could help you." Emma blinked. "What?" "I could be your date for the evening," he said calmly. "I have no other plans, and you seem like you could use a friend right now. We could have dinner, make some pleasant conversation, and then go our separate ways. No strings attached." Emma stared at him. He looked sincere, his expression open and kind. "You would do that? For a complete stranger?" "Why not?" He extended his hand. "My name is James. James Mitchell. I believe introductions are a good place to start if we are going to be a couple for the evening." Despite everything, Emma found herself smiling. She shook his hand. "Emma Richardson. And, I have to say, this is the strangest thing that has ever happened to me." "Life is full of surprises," James said. "So, tell me about yourself. If I am going to be convincing as your boyfriend, I should probably know a few basic facts." They spent the next 15 minutes talking, and Emma was surprised by how easy it was. James was a good listener and asked thoughtful questions. He seemed genuinely interested in her work as a graphic designer, and he told her a bit about himself. He worked in business, he said, though he did not elaborate much. He had a calm, confident manner that put her at ease. When it was time to leave for the restaurant, James offered his arm, and Emma took it, feeling a strange flutter in her chest. The reunion dinner passed in a blur. James was perfect. He was charming and polite, making easy conversation with her old friends. He listened to their stories and asked questions, his hand occasionally finding Emma's in a gesture that felt surprisingly natural. Sarah kept catching Emma's eye and giving her enthusiastic thumbs up from across the table. As the evening wore on, Emma found herself forgetting that this was all pretend. James made her laugh with his quiet humor. He seemed to understand when she needed support and when to let her shine. And the way he looked at her sometimes, with those warm, dark eyes, made her feel like maybe she was not so far behind in life after all. When dinner ended, they walked back down Madison Street together. The lights were twinkling now in the darkness, and the air had grown cool. "Thank you," Emma said when they reached the bench where they had met. "I know this was a strange request, but you really saved me tonight." "You were amazing." James smiled. "It was my pleasure. Truly." He hesitated, then reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out a business card. "I know this was supposed to be a one-time thing, but I enjoyed talking with you tonight. If you would ever like to get coffee sometime, as ourselves this time, I would like that." Emma took the card, and her breath caught as she read it. James Mitchell, Chief Executive Officer, Mitchell Enterprises. She looked up at him, eyes wide. "You are a CEO." He had the grace to look slightly embarrassed. "I did say I worked in business. I suppose I should have been more specific, but I enjoyed being just James for an evening. No expectations, no assumptions about who I am or what I want." Emma laughed, shaking her head in disbelief. "This whole night has been completely surreal. Does that change anything?" James asked, and there was something vulnerable in his expression now. Emma looked at the card in her hand, then back at James. This kind, thoughtful man who had spent his evening helping a stranger. Who had listened to her and made her feel seen. Who had, somewhere along the way, stopped feeling like a stranger at all. "No," she said softly. "It does not change anything. I would love to get coffee sometime. As ourselves." James's smile was bright and genuine. "Then I will call you tomorrow." "I would like that," Emma said. As she walked home that night, Emma thought about how strangely life could unfold. She had started the day feeling like a failure, desperate enough to lie about her life. But sometimes, she realized, the best things happen when you least expect them. Sometimes, asking a stranger for help leads you exactly where you need to be. And sometimes, pretending to be someone's date turns into something wonderfully, beautifully real.